Watching the 2025 SCAC Golf Media Days. Today, we're taking a look at the University of Dallas men's and women's golf programs. The Crusaders will once again be led as they head into the season. The guidance of head coach Stephanie Moorberg, along with leadership from seniors Rex Soulliere on the men's side and Kimberly Burch on the women's side. And Coach Rex, Kimberly, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Coach, we'll open up with you. I felt this time a year ago when we met, it was a whirlwind. Jumping in to head into your first season as the head coach of these two programs. Now having that year of experience under your belt, I'm interested. Just what did you learn over the course of that first season as the head coach of these two programs? How much more comfortable are you now here in year two, and just how excited are you to be back with both of these groups and heading into new season?
Well, yeah, no, definitely comfortable is a word that I'm more confident using. It's nice going to a tournament and like recognizing coaches and being like, oh, that's who you are. Like instead of saying, hi, I'm Stephanie, who are you? So that's kind of nice. So there's no nerves with that, but just being more comfortable, knowing everyone on the team. We do have new faces this year compared to last spring. We've introduced some freshmen both on the men's and women's team. So that's always it's always going to happen. That's just how a golf program works. But definitely, I feel like it's just kind of it's transitioning to kind of what I did as a player, and now I just kind of put that in a coach's perspective. But for the most part, it's been pretty seamless.
Rex, coming into this season, obviously a big year for you in your senior year. I'm interested just, what's the team's energy right now? What's motivating this group? What are you, looking forward to most, just from a team perspective coming into this senior season?
Yeah, from a team perspective, we got a lot of motivation throughout our bigger roster than we had last year. We have a lot of guys who have the skills to succeed in this conference and at this level of golf. And so right now, our biggest goal and motivation is to try and get 5 guys every single tournament who want to win and can execute, focus, and get the job done. Because at the end of the day, I think we have something to prove to a lot of other teams.
Well, Kimberly, before we came on, you and I were just talking about how it seems almost impossible. You're here now at your senior year. You've been such a big part of this program, just as much as Rex has on the men's side. And to come into this senior season and be in this senior semester, what's your mindset coming into this year? And what are some things that you've kind of focused on in your preparation to continue to build your confidence, individually coming into this senior season?
It's definitely strange, I think, being in your last semester and knowing this is kind of it for me, and I'm sure Rex feels the same way. So with that in mind, it's kind of just focusing on making sure every single day you're bringing your A game, doing your best, doing everything so that way when it's all said and done, you can be proud of the effort you put in, especially this semester, getting and really just enjoying those moments that maybe you hadn't thought about too much before now, because it is going to be the last time I or Rex or any of the other seniors will get to do it. As far as things I'm focusing on, again, just focusing on the little things, enjoying them, really kind of embracing the moment in my last semester, and focusing on that is really what I'm doing to kind of build up confidence coming into the season.
Coach, I'm just intrigued. I would imagine it's maybe a difficult task when it comes to golf. You have so many different individual talents and so many different ways to attack a course and different styles of games, and ultimately coming together for kind of this team goal. So, how do you kind of balance that? How do you approach, I guess, coaching a bunch of different styles and then, sort of marrying the idea of the individual success then can breed that team success as well?
Well, yeah, you're exactly right. Golf is an individual sport, but it's also a team sport. But everyone is unique in their own way of approaching things. That's what makes us human, right? So it's been nice to have the same people on the team from last spring to this spring, so that I kind of feel more comfortable with them and know exactly how to approach them when they're on the golf course and what I need to say and what I need to do to help them kind of get their thoughts back to playing well on the golf course. But and then of course, like I said, there's several freshmen that have come in this year that trying to learn their quirks and their good style of golf, and just being able to help them. That's kind of basically that's the biggest challenge you have as a golf coach, is being able to to help each player succeed as a group so that we can have all 5 players on at the same time and play well for the team.
Rex, similarly to what I was talking about with Kimberly, you've been a big part, as I mentioned, of this program, going back since day one and arriving there in Irvine. You've played in a lot of high pressure situations, been there to put the peg in the ground at some of the most important times to this program over these last years. So, I'm interested in a couple of things. One, are there any pre-round, pre-tournament rituals that you have sort of developed over your time as a college golfer? And how do you deal with those pressures of the rounds? How do you sort of stay mentally locked in and checked in? And, of that you've learned, how can you be a leader and pass that on to some of the younger athletes within your program?
Yeah, so I'm not a big pre-round ritual kind of guy. I think there's a little bit of myth to it, but one of the biggest things I've learned and I'm really good at practicing now is treating every tournament just like a round of golf with my family or in qualifying or a casual round. When I go into these tournaments, no matter if I'm in last or first or if it's conference or the first tournament of the year, all I'm trying to do is enjoy the round because at the end of the day, we're playing golf. And I'm trying to make sure that nothing is different because at the end of the day, it's a game and we get to do it in college at a high level. And so making sure that I'm not putting any extra pressure on me than what there already is and trying to enjoy the round as much as possible. I've had some talks with some of the younger members on the team and just trying to get them to realize that it's bigger than just the score next to your name at the end of the week. I've made countless number of friends from different countries, different schools, different states, and it's more about the community and the experience that has really taught me a lot throughout my 4 years.
Okay, we've talked about kind of your mindset coming in, individually and sort of the viewpoint that you have. I'm interested now as one of the leaders within this team, just, how's the team chemistry starting to develop with this team? Coach talked about some new faces coming in. How has it started to develop? And, what do you see as, importance of that chemistry in terms of the team success going forward this season?
Yeah, so we have 4 new freshmen this year. And so with that, obviously there's a little bit of gelling to be done. We did a lot of that in the fall. And so coming back now in the spring, we've had the opportunity. We know each other now and we've become friends at this point. So it's easier for us to kind of get to that next level where we're helping each other with our golf games and giving each other advice and kind of leaning on each other for support in tournaments. I think with the returners, that also really helps the team chemistry just because we've already been there. We know each other well. A lot of us are going to be lifelong friends. So it's really easy for us to kind of just bring the freshmen into that. I think it's really important that we do that as well, just because it helps make the day in and day out grind more enjoyable. It makes it fun for us. Lets us look forward to tournaments and kind of remember, as Rex said, just remember to play golf and have a little bit of fun out there rather than just being on, oh, this is a tournament and putting too much pressure on yourself.
Coach, what excites you about these two programs? What are you looking forward to most with these two teams? Where do you see the strengths within these programs? And what are some things that as you've gotten to know these teams, and as you mentioned, no team is the same. So as you've gotten to know these versions, that the 2025 UD golf versions of these programs, what are things you want fans to know about these groups as they start to prepare for the season from your unique perspective?
Yeah. I mean, I have all the confidence in the world in both the guys and girls. They've got so much potential. The girls finished the fall season finishing second in our last tournament, so I don't see why we can't achieve great things this semester. All of our girls are, like we said, we have a lot of freshmen on the team this year, and they've kind of gotten over that freshman experience of college and all the new things that go with that. And so now they're a little more relaxed and confident in their game, and they can put that focus on the game as well. And so I'm excited to see where the girls take it out this year. And with the guys, I mean, like Rex is the best leader out there for the guys. There's nothing that they can't achieve either. They like Rex said, there's lots of guys on the team. We just need to find those 5 guys that are going to go out there and compete and want to win and challenge themselves to do the best and hold each other accountable so that what I know is potentially can happen will actually happen.
And finally, as we wrap up with our 2 student athletes, when you've had conversations with some of the other leaders, within your teams about some of the goals and expectations that these two groups have coming into the season? How have those conversations unfolded? What have they looked like? And ultimately, what do you see as being key for your groups to going out and accomplishing those goals you have heading into the season?
For the men's side, the biggest thing for us is trusting each other, and making sure that we're putting in enough adequate work during the week to when tournament time comes, it's time to have fun, it's time to compete, and hopefully it's time to bring home some hardware. Tournaments are not a time to fix your swing, not a time to ride the struggle bus or get worried about anything. It should be a team coming together, having fun, and leaving it all out on the course. And that's achieved by putting in a lot of hard work before, a lot of prep work for the course, and making sure that when the time comes, we're just ready to go have fun and hopefully kick some butt.
On the girls' side, the other senior and I, Maddie, we've talked and we've agreed this team's got so much potential. The freshmen are really talented golfers, and I think that as a group, we're all kind of looking forward to see what we can do this semester. We know that if we, again, put in the work day in and day out, good things will happen for us. So we're excited to go after it and compete at all of our tournaments and hopefully bring home some hardware.
And finally, Coach, as we wrap up with you, it's cool to hear, both of your leaders on these two programs just talk about their excitement going into the season, the goals that they have, as they look forward into this final semester. So I'm interested, what's kind of been your message to these two teams as you sort of laid the foundation, sort of set the framework of these seasons? How have you tried to kind of, put in perspective kind of the best possible way to be successful for these two groups going into the year?
Yeah, like both of them said at the beginning of this semester, we both had team meetings and discussed what we want to expect from each other and from the team as a whole going in. And that was kind of the overall theme, like what do we need to do to accomplish success on the golf course, and holding each other accountable. And being there for each other as teammates on and off the golf course is something that I wanted to express to both teams, and just going out there and having fun and knowing like, hey, you get to go play golf and represent UD in different states, and just go out there and relax and enjoy yourself.
University of Dallas head men's and women's golf coach Stephanie Moorberg, along with leadership from seniors Rex Soulliere on the men's side and Kimberly Burch on the women's side. Coach Moorberg and the Dallas Crusaders will head into the 2025 campaign as women open up competition on February 24th and 25th down at the Space City Classic, and then return to action at the Texas Cup on March 16th. Coach Rex, Kimberly, thanks so much for your time today, and best of luck as you head forward throughout the rest of the season.
Thank you.